Louis Sebastian we've been waiting for. That's more like it. There's some of the clouds. It's long streaks. Told you about. It's closing in on us. And it's starting to get cold. There's a bridge leading into Vero Beach. When you see that bridge, you know you're going to get to have a hot shower tonight. It's circling us. Vero Beach, and the cold front's overtaken us. It's raining. It's getting cooler by the minute. You can hear booming off in the distance, and a lot of big pretty houses. This is the absolute pits. Storm front's closing in all around. Gonna hit any time. And I'm about a mile away from an anchorage. The mooring field at Vero, 6:45. And it's Tangerine at the dock after the storm. Leaving Vero Beach, and a lot of unhappy and disillusioned women. Not really. Vero's beautiful, great place. Gotta stay here. It doesn't look that bad out here, but they're like little 1 and 2 foot breakers on the ICW, and it's just too much for my boat. So I've got to go back into. There's Tangerine and Dr. Crosby's boat. Forgot the name of it. The mooring in Vero. The weather's just breaking. We've had 2 days of really bad weather. They say by 8 o'clock this morning we should be able to move out with the winds out of the southwest, maybe out of the west. Here we are out on the ICW. We're doing 3 or 4 knots, which is not amazing, but it's really choppy, so it breaks up the boat's ability to deal with it. But we're running under a little bit of like a storm jib. I've rolled the roller furling in and then tied it off to make sure it doesn't open back up. We're in 25 knots of wind, and with gusts to 35, and they're out of the west, so it's a pretty lively day of sailing. But this little boat does really well. Wind blows around these islands, so right before you get to an island, there's this big ass puff of wind. You know, like maybe extra 10 miles an hour or something, and it's not good. Anchored in the lee of one of these little islands, and it seems so perfectly calm and wonderful. Actually, I ran one of the extra halyards up forward to reinforce the headstay, just in case, you know, sort of like insurance. And I hope that helps. And if you look out there, you can see the winds are blowing about 35 miles an hour, and their little wave crests and everything. I was actually surfing down the wind coming into here. I mean, surfing down the wave. It was awesome, but at the same time, this boat isn't made for that. So I'm gonna hide out here behind Gilligan's Island for a while. Head back out, but I won't be able to take any more pictures for a while, because the waves are breaking over the boat. You know, it's really wet, and I don't want my camera to get ruined. So this will be the last picture for the next 2 to 4 hours. Here are the phone numbers that I've written into the sand so that I could get somebody to come pick me up. Called my wife and asked her to give me some phone numbers. Didn't have a pencil. This is our home for now. You know, it's a little deserted island. It's pretty neat. And here's Tangerine. Here's the girl. That is the most wonderful little boat. It is unbelievable. I mean, in all that wind and everything, 35 knot winds, and the most she ever heeled over was 10 degrees. I pulled in a little bit of sail, and we were just running on a tiny little strip of a jib, and we were going hull speed. At one point we were actually surfing down the waves. It's incredible, but spooky. More shots of Gilligan's Island. You can see how the wind's blowing. You can see the water racing around the island. See the current? And then, okay, we'll swing around and do another shot of Tangerine, happily at rest, enjoying a quiet afternoon. Wind conditions as we were in earlier. The only difference is the wind's backed a little, and so we're almost running. We just got this little tiny bit of a jib up there, and we're running down the ICW and down the faces of these little waves, and pretty neat stuff. The scenery along the ICW. We're at the end of part 1 of the Florida Loop.
Considerable cloudiness with a slight chance of showers of rain 20%. At 5 p.m. at Fort Pierce, under sunny skies, temperature 66 degrees, humidity 38%. Wind northwest at 9. West Palm Beach, it was mostly sunny, temperature 67 degrees, wind northwest at 18 miles an hour, gusting to 26, pressure 30.10 inches and rising. Melbourne, sunny. At Kennedy Space Center, mostly sunny, 59 degrees, west wind at 17 miles an hour, gusting to 30. Sunny, 58 degrees, west wind at 21 miles an hour, feet. A light chop on the intracoastal